What's up, guys? It's Felipe back with another video. Today I wanted to talk about social skills. Social skills, social skills, social skills. There's absolutely nothing more important than social skills, in my opinion. My overarching goal in life is to become the most charismatic version of myself as I quickly realized that people are everything and the real game being played is how you make people feel. And so if you can make people have goodwill towards you, think fondly of you, then basically everything you ever wanted is just going to manifest. It's just going to come into your life. Now, this isn't by any means like a comprehensive guide, but it's kind of like a view into my brain, like kind of like how I think about social interactions, especially with somebody I'm meeting for the first time. Yeah, so it's just like, man, if I could go back in time and give myself this information, God bless America, that would be so good. But we can't do that. So hopefully, a few of you, if you happen to be struggling with making, meaningful, sustainable relationships, then you can glean something from this video. Okay. So step number one is definitely to smile. Smiling is just so OP. It's the easiest, highest ROI thing. You just do Shen smile, like hi, how are you? I kind of like to envision myself. I have the hat right here. I like to envision myself as like somebody not like mentally ill, but somebody with like a learning disability, just a retarded person, just like hi, just truly zero nefarious intent, zero ulterior motives. I'm just here because I like you. I just want to, like, within the first few seconds of the interaction, I just want to make the person feel that I like them. I want them to feel respected, loved. Like, hey, out of the 100 billion people that have existed on this planet and the other 8 billion other people that are existing concurrently, we two individuals, two conscious entities, happen to be having this interaction. Like, isn't that crazy? I love you. Is the subcommunication, is kind of the body language, the facial expression, the vibe that I'm trying to establish. Number one. Number two is it's really hard to kind of do that if you tend to be a judgmental person. Everybody's judgment. We all make snap judgments. It takes like less than half a second. Like, I believe it's like 200 milliseconds for us to come up with an arbitrary judgment about a person. It's something hardwired in us. It's a survival mechanism. It's the hardware we have. So if you have trouble kind of being judgmental and having that unconditional love attitude, what I like to do is to superimpose someone or something that you love very dearly. So I used to have a golden retriever named Mika, and man, whenever I saw my dog, I would just light up. Oh, it was just like the cutest little thing. It's like, oh, dog. Like, oh, that's my girl. Or when I see like my best friend, my brother, whenever I just see him, especially out in public, if it happens to be an unexpected encounter, I'm like, oh, that's my bro, that's my best friend. It's just that energy. If you could bring that energy to a stranger, very, very likely that they're going to like the interaction and like you subsequently. So that's number one. Um, Number two, going back to it, it's all about the subcommunity. It's all about the energy. And so, like, if you can just understand that the words being said are just filler. The words being said are absolutely not what the person is actually trying to communicate, then you've just unlocked all of social skills. Like, the words are so unimportant. Like, if I say, "How are you doing today?" as opposed to, "How are you doing today?" like, "How are you doing today?" It's completely different. The first one is like genuinely asking, "What are you up to?" Or like the sub communication may be interpreted as like, "Yo, this is just another interaction with an NPC. Like, how are you doing today?" If I were a receptionist at like a corporate company and I genuinely didn't care about you or didn't know you, and I, just doing my job, just showing up just showing up to get my paycheck, then I'd probably just hit you with that. But I'm like, "How you doing today, man? Like, what's up?" Then it's like, "Oh, like, hey, dude, I'm really liking this interaction. What are you up to? Like, how you feeling?" And then you can even do it like in a flirtatious way, like, "How you doing today, miss?" Right? It's all about the context. It's all about like the double speak. It's all about what's being said, not explicitly, but implicitly. So, like, really gotta hone in. You gotta be present to the moment, get outside of your head, and really take in the stimuli. Really take in what's happening within the interaction. That is very crucial for social success. And then number three is once you've established that vibe, that energy of, yo, I love you, I respect you, I'm just trying to have a good time, then really deep dive into what this person genuinely likes or is passionate about. And some go-to questions I ask are like, so what gets your juices flowing? Like what do you actually like to do? And if that's not enough, I usually ask like, so what do you usually watch on YouTube? Or like, if you kind of are scrolling on Reddit or Instagram, like what kind of content do you find yourself consuming? Like, just ask questions that like basically would would betray what they're genuinely interested in. And once they get to talking about the things that actually resonate with them at a deep soul level, do not okay, this is where people mess up. Do not disqualify. Like, absolutely encourage, absolutely validate, and like compliment the fact that this person, this 1 out of 8 billion individual, is interested in the things that he's interested in, and he's probably getting a lot of pushback, because if it happens to be something that's not necessarily socially redeemable, let's just say you can't necessarily make a lot of money from it, or like most people upon hearing that this is their hobby or their life's passion would just disregard it, go like, oh yo, this is boring, or this is lame. Like, if they're dealing with that day to day, and you just come in with genuine appreciation and go, oh dude, that's absolutely awesome, that's absolutely awesome, then you really get to open the person up. Because if you think about it, like, there's a beautiful quote from Miyamoto Musashi, who's a samurai in Japan. He's like, if you want to know 10,000 things, know one thing really well. And we live in the real world. And so if you get to a high level in any discipline, there are going to be lessons, takeaways, that have carryover into basically everything else. And so if you get this person talking about the thing that they're genuinely passionate about, something that they've invested like hundreds, if not thousands of hours into, then you're going to be able to glean really valuable information. And so most people, instead of recognizing that as an opportunity to get like a Cliff Notes version of something and also develop goodwill at the same time, they disqualify it because of ego, whatever. It's just so, like, the opportunity cost is enormous. So please don't make that mistake. Just, if somebody starts talking about what they're genuinely interested in, find ways to show appreciation, to compliment it and to encourage it. And if you're unable to get that out of the person, like they're really, just closed up, then just give any type of, like, compliment their fashion, compliment something that, like, basically use it as an opportunity to bring your knowledge into the conversation, right? I'm really into, like, health and fitness. I'm really into, like, social skills, psychology. I'm really into like studying like facial aesthetics. And so if I see somebody go like, oh, like, and if you hit them with a very like a hyper specific comment that only somebody with your knowledge would be able to administer, then it's going to really stick in their brain for a long time. So if I talk about like how, like, most guys that I interact with that have like very masculine faces, they usually have really defined brow ridges, or they really have like a good gonial angle, or they have decent bigonial width as opposed to like their neck width, or they have like a really good shoulder to waist ratio. And so if I hit them with a compliment, like a non-standard, non-conventional compliment, then it's just gonna it's gonna stick with them. There are people who hit me up like years later that talk about how I brought that up and how that was such a random remark, but it always stuck in their brain. And so you gotta make it fun. You gotta make it memorable. Try to make it memorable. Try to make it like this person is watching a movie. Make it entertaining for the individual, because most people are not entertaining. Most people don't have that zest, flowing through them. And so if you can just differentiate yourself from the chaff, God bless America. It's so good. It's so good. And then number 4 is saying things creatively and not being afraid to express your idiosyncrasies. And so, like, instead of saying, I'm going to the restroom, I like to say, oh, I'm gonna go bless the plumbing, or I'm gonna take a seat on the porcelain throne, right? Just have fun, just wordplay, right? And also like bring accents into it. So I like to use like the Vietnamese, like Chinese accent. It's like, oh, you want fly rice? Oh, you want only $29.95? No problem. We could do right now, right? Just completely out of things, completely out of left field. If you can, like do something unexpected in a positive, like positive unexpected events are almost always guaranteed good times. And if they don't necessarily respond well to them, then this is yet another opportunity for you to show social calibration. Go like, oh, like if they look visibly uncomfortable, or they look like that, you know, they just didn't resonate with the joke whatsoever. Pointing that out is actually really, really high level social skills. Go like, oh, okay, like, yo, dude, I was just cracking a joke. I really didn't mean to offend you. Go back to, hey, I'm just a guy, you're just a guy. I'm here to just have a good time, and I love and respect you. I'm not trying to make you feel uncomfortable or disrespect you in any way. That's like the entire vibe that should be maintained. And so if you can do that, man, God bless. Just keeps going, just keeps going. It's just like WD-40 ultra lubricated blessings, because it's a dance, it's a tango. And a lot of the like people are just scared. Like most people aren't assholes and most people aren't mad. They're just terrified, because most other people, when they show a shred of vulnerability, it immediately gets stomped on, or people use it as an opportunity to talk about like their own achievements or boast about themselves instead of acknowledging it. And so like, because that's just the standard for most social interactions, a lot of people become calloused. A lot of people just withdraw into their shells. And so if you could just be that one shining light, just like a nice sashimi knife, and just cut through that shell and just be like, yo, dude, we're here to have a good time. Oh, it's too good. It's too good. And then like going back to the loving and the respecting thing, it's to take just having a collaborative mindset. So the way I like to view the world, this is just my model, so take it with a grain of salt. It's like we're all playing a video game. We're all playing an RPG, role-playing game. And so everybody has their own like main quests and their side quests and like their interests. Like it's been 9,002 days since I've been born. Like 9,002 days have elapsed, and there are 29,200 days in 80 years. Right? And we're all human beings. We're 99% the same genetically. And so just kind of, if you have that lens, have this lens of like, yo, this is a character, and like we're all playing this game together, and we can collaborate. We can like, if I can just show up and be like, yo, dude, I see you have this mission. Let me just give you whatever information I have to expedite or like make your process of attaining your goals easier. It like, oh man, it really goes a long way. It's that collaboration mindset, the collaborative mindset. And to genuinely not have an ulterior motive, to genuinely not try to get something out of this person. Like, oh, like if you know, the people who are really socially savvy can pick up when you're trying to just get in their good graces to eventually redeem something from them. Maybe like a collaboration, maybe like they're just like especially high status celebrities. Yeah, they're dealing with that all the time. People who are trying to make a quick buck off of them, or like just trying to get into their social circle so they can get access, like whatever it may be. If you could just be that one individual who's truly there to be of service, to truly just be like, yo, dude, I see you. Like, I fucking acknowledge you and respect you, and I really just want you to live your best possible life. Then, ironically, they're going to like, this is the macro sustainable way of interacting with other people. Non-neediness. When somebody is perceived to be non-needy, it's actually so attractive. It's so magnetic. And it's the most sustainable model. It's the most sustainable model, because when I was extremely overweight and like insanely socially inept, I would always think to myself like scrolling through Facebook and Instagram, looking at other people living such an amazing life, I would just think like, damn, I have to be me and they get to be them. That was the mindset. But now, once you've unlocked this, not like once you get to even just like a rudimentary level of competence within the social arena, you start to think, damn, they have to be them and I get to be me. Like, I get to live a life filled with happiness, with meaningful relationships, because you understand the true game being played. And you do that by putting yourself below and putting yourself behind, truly seeking to be of service to everybody. It's crazy. It's so good. It's so good. Yeah. If I could have come to that realization earlier, it would have been amazing. And this doesn't mean it doesn't mean to not be genuine. Like, if you genuinely want to hang out with this person, you genuinely want to go on a date with this girl, you should be honest, but don't make it a big deal. It's the nothing is a big deal mentality, and I'm not entitled to anything mentality. Like, I would absolutely love to go on a date with you, or I would absolutely love to grab, a bite with you, or, go to a bowling alley with you. But, I completely respect the fact that you have your own life and you have your priorities, and that I may not be, a contender for that activity. And that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. There's zero downside to your rejecting me. I still love you and I still respect you, and this was still beautiful. Because the interaction, if you view people as not a means to an end, but as an end in and of themselves, that's a quote from Immanuel Kant, you just get to live beautifully. You get to live artistically. Because again, art is anything done for its own sake. So if you're having this interaction for its own sake, oh man, it's just truly wonderful. Glory. All right, guys, thanks so much for listening. If you have any questions or just please, or suggestions for other videos, leave a comment or send me a DM on Instagram. I'll gladly make more videos regarding this stuff, because it's just it's so simple. It's not easy, because you do have to recalibrate yourself. You do have to kind of get into a different mode of thinking. But once you put on that mode, it's just easy. It's just like cheat codes. It's literally like GTA cheat codes. You just type them in, and then you just kind of see everyone else struggling, and you're just like, damn, if only they read a few books. Yeah, because the knowledge is out there. It's the agnostic game engine. The laws of physics don't care. The laws of physics only care about, is it physically possible and have the conditions been met? Those two things. So is it physically possible for me to be in wonderful, healthy, sustainable dynamics with beautiful, amazing people? Absolutely. You just got to meet those conditions, right? And just figuring out what the conditions are. It's a lifelong journey, but you have zero competition. You have absolutely zero competition, especially with COVID, especially with things going more digital. You have zero competition. And getting to this paradigm, you realize that there is no competition. It's all collaboration. It's all the infinite game. We're all in this together. We're all part of humanity, mankind. But you gotta remove that parasite. You gotta remove gotta be better than my neighbor thinking mentality. It's a software update. It's an absolute software update that pays dividends. So, all right, guys, thank you very much. Talk to you guys soon. Peace.